Hello and welcome back, everybody. I figured since I have FlipPac off the truck and started ripping out all the carpet, I'd give a little bit of a tutorial on how a FlipPac is assembled and how it actually works and where the failures come into place in case you decide to buy one. So let's just start with the interior and show you. Over here would be the brackets on the outside of the FlipPac, and they're connected to a steel tubing that goes all the way down the length of the FlipPac. That's on the top and the bottom. And then it's clamped on the outside, and this is what flips over. And if we go back over here, this is where the torsion bar runs. And that torsion bar helps assist with flipping it down and then back up. I'll explain more about that as I go to the outside. I had been chasing leaks in this thing forever, and I knew that they leaked, and I knew a lot of it came from the hinges. What was happening is the water would run in from the hinge, come down here. I kept thinking it was coming from where it was sealed up here, but it would come down here, so then it would wet down here. And if we go over here, it was also leaking, I think, here, and then also in the back. So there was leaking all over here. And then on this side, the issue I was having was I was starting to go into a failure. Not sure if you can see that up there, but I had to cut back part of the fiberglass because it wasn't sealing all the way. But I'm gonna get that fixed. My plan is to replace the hinges, cut these out, re-fiberglass them back in, top and bottom, so that it's solid again, and I'll show you more about the hinges. So let me go ahead and start talking about the failures on the outside and how you can actually fix them. So this is how it's assembled from the outside. What you have is a hinge system. One goes to the top, one goes to the bottom. And as I showed you inside, there's a steel tubing that goes all the way down. From here, on these hinges, there's a torsion bar. So let me go ahead and start with the failure of the hinges. What happens is, if you see here, it's a pretty thin hinge to hold that much weight, top and bottom. So there are replacement hinges on the market, and if you compare the two, you can see that this one's much more substantial. It's a much larger hinge. It'll go in here, go inside there, go on there, and then go back into that steel tubing. So if your steel tubing is rusted and starting to fail, you'll need to remove that and then get your new brackets. These brackets are still available. They're pretty expensive. It's from a company called Sway Away. I have no affiliation with them. I believe they're $399. I'll put a picture up, and I'll also put a link in the description so if anybody's interested in getting hinges. This is what the Sway Away hinge pack will contain. It has top and bottom hinges for both sides, and then it also has the bushings and all of the hardware in stainless steel. Now, with the hinges, the other failure point is going to be the torsion bar. For people that don't understand how a torsion bar works, this would be the neutral position. Imagine my hand straight is the neutral position. When you twist it, the torsion bar twists. This one will stay put, that one over there will twist. So what happens is the torsion bar twists, and what it does is it eases it down and low. It'll ease it back up because that twist is in play. The reason why it's in the neutral position is because when you go to open it, it'll help ease it up. It'll become in the neutral position. And then when you flip it over to the top of the truck, it's now in the twisted position again, which will help then raise it back up. I'll show a picture of how far out this top actually comes over so you can understand how heavy it might actually be. So when you replace the torsion bar, it has to be in this position, And this lid has to be up, straight up, and then the torsion bar will go in. So that's the neutral position. So then it will give you assistance on raising it back up from both positions. What happens is the torsion bars will snap. They snap over time. And there's also a replacement for these. It's from the same company, Sway Away. I'll put up a picture and also a link of where you can get these. Now, the torsion bar is $389. So between the hinge and the torsion bar, you're at about $400, probably over $400 for to replace these items. So when you're looking at a FlipPac, even if you see a deal, these are failure points, and it's not a matter of when it will fail. If it will fail, it's a matter of when. Unless somebody has it sitting underneath a carport or something where there's no water getting in, even then you need to make sure that you're re-siliconing these points so that there's no water getting in. You can actually see here, maybe see there's a little bit of a crack, and that's probably where the water's getting in, and then probably somewhere in here. But when I put the new hinges in, that'll all get siliconed up. Now, what happens is on that side, I'm actually getting to the point of what they would consider a catastrophic failure. What's happening is on that side, this tube is rusting out right here. So if you imagine a hinge is inside there, and then the metal that it's in is rotting away. So the only thing that's going to support it is the fiberglass top, which it's not going to be able to support it. So what happens is these I'll put a photo up of this too so you can understand what type of failure you might be looking at. This just cracks. There's no more steel to hold it, so this top cracks. At that point, you're either gonna have to hire somebody to fiberglass it, or if you know how to fiberglass it yourself, you can put it all back together. None of this is to say that you shouldn't own a FlipPac. It's just a warning that if you do get a FlipPac, one of the first things you're going to want to do is take a look inside at the metal. Make sure you probably, if you're going to go through the trouble of replacing the metal, you might as well replace the hinges and the torsion bar. So I just wanted to make sure and give everybody a little bit of a understanding of how a FlipPac works and the failure points you're going to have, and how it can actually be repaired. I will also post links to some of the photos that I had in there to the guys that went through this experience so you could understand it. That's where I learned a little bit more about it and learned where to get these. Actually, if you just Google FlipPac repair parts, those will come up too. So that's about it. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.